Hello, how are you doing today? Wow, positivity and the lies that we tell. Have you ever been told that you needed to be positive? Maybe you were kind of expecting it of yourself, that you're just supposed to be positive all the time, happy all the time. Well, let me tell you something. That is one of the lies that we tell ourselves. And the more we do that, the worse it becomes for us because we can't reach the goals that we set for ourselves, those milestones, unless we get really, really honest with ourselves. And the truth is, we can't be positive all the time. My name's Dina Cataldo. I help lawyers and other driven professionals really get clear on what they want, go after it, and do it with more ease and less of that stress and that anxious feeling that we get inside when we are striving for something. And today I want to talk to you about noticing our thoughts and making new ones that really, really serve us. So, first of all, it's important just to notice if we are having those thoughts that we should be positive all the time, because that's something that can really hold us back. Most of us don't take the time to recognize how we feel when we are doing something in our life. We rush through it. We have all these to-dos on our list. We wake up and we know we've got 20 things that we want to accomplish, and we get to maybe a handful and then feel bad about ourselves. That's usually par for the course, but I want to let you know that there is a better way to do that. So the first thing is to challenge the idea that the thoughts that we have are true. We so often take our thoughts at face value as if they are the absolute truth, and that is not true. What's going on is our brain reacts. It's triggered to different circumstances that are going on in our world. And depending on how we were raised and the kinds of things that we learn, we filter that through our mind. And our mind assigns categories to it. So just recognize that what you're experiencing is completely normal. And most of that is run from our subconscious, from our reptilian brain, our ancient brain. But the good news is that we have a prefrontal cortex and we can tell it what to do. But it takes some mindfulness, it takes taking some time with ourselves to really start to recognize this. And if you've watched any of my other videos, or if you've listened to my podcast, Soul Roadmap Podcast, then you've probably heard me say something like this before, is that we have the opportunity to use our prefrontal cortex to begin to regulate what's going on in our automatic systems in our subconscious. So let's take a look at some of the thoughts that we might have. Some of them are clearly limiting thoughts, things that are totally holding us back, and some of them are a little sneakier, but it's important to just start recognizing that they are happening. So let's take something like the phrase, I shouldn't spend any money, or I shouldn't date older or younger men, okay? Those are different thoughts that we have. Now, the important thing is that we begin to challenge that. When we notice that we have a thought, no matter what that thought is, we can start challenging it. We can test it. We can say, hey, is that really true? Are there examples in the world where that isn't true? For instance, dating younger men. So let's say one of the thoughts that you're having is that you shouldn't date younger men. And you start thinking about, well, is that really true? Is that really something that is, completely verifiable? Like 12 jurors on a jury would be able to say, yes, of course you're right. No, because we have examples of women and men dating younger men and women. So just recognize when you start down this path of having any thought that we can test it. We can ask ourselves, is that really true? Same thing with shouldn't spend money. Shouldn't spend money on what? Is it you shouldn't spend money on a class? Well, chances are, if you're watching this, you've spent tons of money on a lawyer, either like getting your degree as a lawyer or, going to undergrad or getting some other master's degree. So think about, well, shouldn't spend money compared to what? It's obviously not true across the board because you invested in yourself in the work that you're doing right now and getting an education in that. So test it. Is that really true? And then there's always that there's not enough, right? There's not enough money. There's not enough time. There's not enough clients. Test these thoughts because we have the exact same amount of time, for instance, as anyone else in the world. So then it comes down to prioritizing. Is it that I don't have enough time, or is it that I'm not prioritizing? Is there a way that I can create more time? Or the thought, this is so hard. Why, ask yourself, well, what if I could make it easy? What would I do if I could make this easier? Instead of going into those questions that don't help us, right? So there could be questions like, oh, why is this so hard? Right? You could just kind of feel your energy go down. You know that you have the ability to get in the right direction. And it's not faux positivity. It's asking yourself questions to get more resourceful to find the answers. And it all starts with just these few things. So first, notice your thoughts. I like to take time in the morning to just relax. And that's when my thought process is most clear because my brain is still waking up. And so when I notice thoughts that don't serve me, like the thought, I need to check my phone, I recognize I can use my prefrontal cortex and say, you know what? I don't need to check my phone right now. It can wait. It's not a necessity because my reptilian brain wants that instant fix of checking the phone and seeing, my emails and all of that. But I have to regulate it. I have to recognize, no, is that really true? No, I don't really need to check my phone. I'm fine. So I keep it down for the most part, and I try not to check my phone. And that's just something you can do with repetition. You practice over and over and over again. So don't feel bad if you don't master this right away. It takes some time, and it takes some patience with ourselves and some compassion with ourselves. The next thing to do is start asking yourself, is that true? Start saying, well, what if that were not true? What if that's not true? What if I do have enough money? How could I have enough money? I mean, those are different questions we can start asking ourselves, and then start experimenting with how the thoughts that we are having feel in our body. So like the example, why is this so hard? Recognize how that feels in the body. It feels heavy. It feels like we're being weighed down. But if you ask yourself another question, well, how can I make this easier? Well, your body lightens up. You feel more open naturally. So just recognize how that thought feels in your body, because the feelings that we have are then going to lead to the actions that we take. They're either going to be resourceful or not resourceful, depending on the feeling that we're having in our body. And that's going to lead us to better results. That's going to lead us to either getting what we want in life or getting what maybe we don't want in life. So just start to recognize that. So ask yourself these questions, start recognizing your thoughts. If you are a lawyer and you want more of this, if you really want to start transforming your life, I've created a free guide. It's a free training program, really. If you go to dinacataldo.com/transform, you can get it in your email inbox. And then if you are ambitious, really striving person right now who wants to dial back the anxiousness but really propel yourself forward, I encourage you to sign up for a free 45-minute strategy session with me. You can find out how or whether it would be a good fit to work with me, because once you start working one-on-one with a coach, you will find that you will be able to take your life, take your business to a whole new level. I know I found that true for me, and I know that the people that I work with, they have found that true for them. So go to dinacataldo.com/personal coaching for that, and I've linked to that in this video post. I hope you have a wonderful day, and if you are inspired by this, if this is something that you just love, like I love talking about the brain and how our thoughts work, share this with somebody. Put this on your page and like it so that more people see it. Thanks again. Have a great day.